There you go. Welcome, everybody. The title for the session today is What's New to Support Our Students? I'm Kirsten Elliott. I'm the Dean of Community and Academic Relations. I'm also on the Professional Development Committee, and I hope you're having an amazing day. Today is all about helping you all be reinvigorated about the great work you're doing in your different roles, as well as learn new tools so that we can better support our students. So that's what the theme of today is about, like what is new out there, because it's really hard to stay informed about all the cool things that we're doing. So this is a chance to do kind of a really quick dive, shallow dive maybe on some amazing new things that are happening on campus to support our students. We have a bunch of great folks who are going to be giving you little 5 to 6 minute summaries of what they do. I'm going to put it in the chat again so you know kind of the agenda. And my job is to just have a timer on my phone so that I keep us moving along, because I don't want the last people on the list to feel like they didn't get a chance to say something. And also I want to have a little cushion of time for you all to ask questions of all these nice people. So are we all on board, ready to hear some good stuff? The first folks we're going to be hearing from are from our Student Equity Center. So it's Lena and Isaac and Thomas. Take it away.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Thomas Bowie, he, him pronouns. I'll be presenting on behalf of myself, Isaac, and Lena today. I am the new project manager for our Student Equity Center. This is week 9, so I'm excited to be here and a part of the community. Something I'm going to put in the chat today is a little flyer we made with some upcoming events, information on how to get involved with Student Equity Center. As you all know, the center is a space that we and many across campus have been working towards and is currently being renovated and is not yet physically open, but will be open soon, we hope. So as you all can see, as a part of our Student Equity Center, just a brief overview, we have 4 centers that are housed under this space: our Racial Justice Center, Dream Resource Center, Pride Center, and Gender Equity. And here's some, I just want to kind of give a brief overview of some of the things that are happening this semester. Some of the cool events that I want to highlight: Room in the Corner is being hosted by our Racial Justice Center. That is happening March 31st. We would appreciate y'all's support. If you can share these events with your students in the classroom, we would really appreciate that. Other things happening in May, our Pride Center will be putting on another Pride Week and have wonderful events lined up that we will be releasing information on soon. Some of the advocacy work that is coming out of our center groups right now include a pilot program for mentorship. We have some wonderful students who have participated in our mentorship program this semester, and we're looking for more. So if you know students who are looking for mentorship, looking to connect to campus, please send them our way. And another thing is our Pride Center is working with GSA, Gender Sexuality Alliance, to do an all-gender restroom advocacy. They are really trying to promote and get more all-gender restrooms to continue to increase our inclusion on campus. Lastly, I will say that we have started our social media accounts and have a Facebook and Instagram account. You will see at SMC Student Equity Center. That is the best way to stay up to date with all the news and things coming on in our center.
Creeps are staring.
And that is all I have for us today.
All right, they still have 3 minutes. So does anybody have a quick question before we jump to Direct Connect update?
Just wanted to share another quick update related to the Student Equity Center. As you see, we are piloting the Student Equity Center mentorship program. This is a little different than the Men of Color mentoring program. We're actually going to be setting up a meeting with Dr. Jimenez, who spearheads the Men of Color mentoring program, to see how we can continue to support each other, since they also have been doing the Men of Color mentoring program for about 3 years now. So just wanted to mention that piece.
Wonderful. And there's a question in the chat about getting a text version of the flyer to post into Canvas. So that's another important thing. Whenever we make these really pretty flyers, you can't do anything with them in Canvas. So that's why we've tried to send things out in the district bulletins that are pretty. And then at the bottom, there'll be some just plain text so that folks can copy and paste that into Canvas. So Thomas, do you know if you can maybe, how can people get that plain text from you guys?
Yes, you all are the first to see this information.
Nice.
And we will be sending out a bulletin actually with plain text in it. And so you'll be getting this information again.
Excellent. Thank you. Loretta.
Hi, I just wanted to say really quick, you can actually post PDF of the flyers in Canvas in like, if you create like a module or like I'll often do that for like if there's a syllabus or basic information, and then it'll be like important stuff. And so you can put the flyer, you can post the flyer up in a module and it looks kind of nice. So that is an option.
Good. So
Just
maybe
for those who didn't know.
we need a workshop on how to do that. I don't know how, and I'd like to train everybody. That's great. Thank you for letting, it's a module though. That's what you need to put it in.
Yeah, you can just put it up in a module.
Okay, wonderful. Any other questions before we hop to our next speaker? This is like speed dating. Okay, sorry, it feels a little abrupt and rushed. I apologize, but I want to make sure we get everybody, all the good stuff out there. All right. Okay, we're moving on then. All right, so Thomas, if you don't mind taking your screen down, and then Silvana, do you want to take it away?
Yes. Hi, everyone. My name is Silvana Carrion Palomares, and I am one of the leads for the Direct Connect profile, which I'm going to share with you now. And here it is. The other person who helps me is Dr. Tiffany Dowd, who is right now doing her EGC workshop and probably killing it. So first, I'm going to do the video for you guys, which kind of explains what Direct Connect is and where you can find it.
Direct Connect, a student support navigation portal. Whether on campus or online, your sense of belonging matters at SMC. Direct Connect was designed to empower students to take advantage of helpful information, resources, connect to support, and thrive at SMC. It is important for students to connect with communities that meet all of their needs, including academic, social, wellness, cultural, and advocacy needs. We've got you covered. Direct Connect is a navigation tool that includes 5 communities of support services organized to make it easy to learn helpful information and connect to the support you need at SMC. SMC offers a variety of counseling and guidance to achieve your dreams. Connect with counselors and services that support your educational, financial, and career needs. Thrive in your classes and meet all of your academic needs. Connect with the academic support, including faculty, tutors, or the library staff. At SMC, we believe in and support student wellness. Connect with services that support your emotional, physical, and all of your basic needs. We believe in honoring all of our identities. Connect with services that celebrate cultural, identity, and community. Connect with services that promote student advocacy and uplifting student voices. We don't always know how to take advantage of the great services available to students. Each highlighted service has a profile that presents need-to-know information on how to successfully benefit from all of the offered services. Explore the profiles to learn helpful information, resources, and how to connect to student support. Discover the best path to successfully navigate student support and meet your educational and career goals. Connect with a counselor, faculty, or staff member to receive the support you need. Students, Canvas faculty and staff, embed Direct Connect in your online class. Achieve your dreams at SMC.
So as you can see, the Direct Connect website is both accessible through online and through Canvas, and it is the same profile within both. Some of the updates that we have is that we added the STEM program right here, and then we also collaborated with GPS that you can see within one of our profiles. And now the students have a way to directly connect to the GPS, so then they can flag themselves and be able to seek help that way as well. And I'll just give a quick shout out to Maria Belen Vaccaro for helping us create this, as well as marketing, distance education, and online support for really helping us create all these profiles and this beautiful website. So this is really where it stands. All of them are communities, and within each profile, you'll also see the theme, which is explore, discover, connect, and thrive. It takes a little bit to get to thrive sometimes. And as well as you can see that all the communities are here. And like I said, the profiles are the same whether online or on Canvas, and I'll make sure to add the website into the chat right now.
Thank you, Silvana. Does anyone have any quick questions? This is a wonderful, wonderful resource, and I know it was a huge effort to pull it all together in such an amazing way. So I want to give a big shout out to Silvana and Dr. Dowd and all the great folks that have worked on that. I think it's lovely. I hope everybody's using it. Watch that video again if you want to see how you can embed it into your Canvas shell, and it's just great. So thank you so much. All right, and we still have 1 minute. I think I scared everybody by giving them the time limits. I'm sorry. Usually I'm very flexible, but all right. So, all right, we're gonna move on. Save your questions, I guess, to the end. And we've got a bodega update. Is Charlene here? Charlene Massillon?
Yes, I'm here, but for some reason it says that I'm you, Kirsten.
Oh, I know. That's not, I'll change your name. Okay, you get going and I'll change your name.
Thank you. Yeah, I was trying to figure out the entire time. I was trying to figure out how to change the name, but I couldn't.
I got you.
Thank you. Again, so my name is Charlene Massillon. I am the new project manager in Basic Needs. And so I'm here to talk to you all to give you a few updates of what we have going on in Basic Needs. The biggest is our bodega. So bodega is located right across from the student health services underneath the Caton Center. It's attached to the cafeteria as well. It's the old KCRW mailroom. And we are open every Wednesday from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. And bodega is essentially the food pantry on campus for all of you who don't know. And it has essentially everything that a student could need. So we have like baby clothes, or not baby clothes, but baby food, diapers, toiletries. We do have some clothes that we are giving out to students as well. Lots of fresh produce and shelf-stable items. We really think of bodega as like a one-stop shop for student needs. We get chicken, eggs, fish sometimes. We always have milk. So all sorts of things available to students in bodega. And again, we're open 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Wednesdays. We highly encourage that students come early because students tend to line up at about like 9 a.m. For bodega, and the line tends to wrap around the science building as well. We're serving about 150 students a week right now in bodega, and it is still growing. Some other basic needs stuff that we have going on, of course, is our food security inbox. So for any of you whose students are needing help with accessing food, housing, financial assistance, mental health, or any other kinds of basic need essential services, you can refer them to the food security email. So it's foodsecurity@smc.edu. And they can just email food security and myself, or one of my basic needs counselors, or even one of our graduate student social work interns will reach out to the student and set up an appointment to help them access our meal programs like Meal Project, CalFresh. I'm also a CalFresh assister, so we can assist students with doing CalFresh applications. We recently received a grant, or we finally signed the contract for a grant that provides us funds to establish a CalFresh program on campus. And so we have a specific link that students can use if they want to do the application on their own, which I'll share in the chat. Or again, you can refer them to foodsecurity@smc.edu, and one of our staff will be able to reach out to them and do an application with them. And yeah, that's pretty much. Oh, really quickly, if I have time, Kirsten, I wanted to share some links with you all that you can also send to students. So if I could get access to share my screen.
Done, sure.
You're fast, Lena. Thanks.
Oh, thank you. Here we go. So this is the CalFresh website. Again, I'll share the Santa Monica College specific link with you, but it's super quick and easy. They go step by step with each one of the questions. And the bar for the share screen is in my way to get to the other tabs. The other tab that I wanted to show you was this one here. If you can see on the side, this is the link that students can go to for different kinds of resources on campus. And it's super easy. You just want to go onto smc.edu, click on the student support drop-down menu, and then click on health and well-being, and it'll take you straight to here. And as you can see, they can click on different buttons for resources that students can access, like things for housing. These are the organizations that we tend to refer students to. And then this other link here is for COVID-19 specific student resources. So for any students who are, still being impacted by COVID-19, these are some other resources that they can access as well.
Can I ask a quick question? We were previously looking at another page with all of those different images of the resources. So the page you're showing right now, there's also different resources. Do they all link? Are they all, that first page that was shown earlier, does that contain this as well by going through that?
Yes, I'm quite positive that it likely has the same resources that I just showed you on the link. Yeah, they're all the same. They just link to each other. Different ways to access the same thing. Okay,
because I'm just thinking like for my class, I want to just have a place where on the first day of class, I just tell students, just go to this site and everything is there, right? Otherwise, if they're just poking around, some people after a while might just get fatigued. So thank you.
Yeah, of course. And I imagine, as Silvana mentioned, the Direct Connect link would be the perfect thing to provide to students because it'll link to these resources.
Thanks.
And that was basically it.
Any other questions? All right, we're trucking along. Thank you so much, Charlene. All right, let's go to GPS. We've got Lori and possibly Greg. If you guys want to take it away.
All righty. I'm sorry, Kirsten, were you calling my name? Okay,
yes,
great.
would you like to go, Greg? And
Great.
I know Lori's here too, so.
Yeah, apparently I was muted.
Great, thank you. My apologies. I'm going between two meeting screens, etc. So we are here. I'm Greg Brookins, and this is Lori Williams. We are co-leads of your SMC GPS team. Lori, I'm gonna hand it off to you while I get the document up.
Yeah, thank you for doing that, because again, it's not letting me share for some reason. Just doesn't pop up as an option. Anyway, so Greg and I are the co-leads, lead ambassadors for GPS, which is just an online communication platform. It's really meant to improve communication between students, faculty, and counselors. We want students to get the help they need. We want them to have access to resources. And that's really what GPS is all about. I know that we have done several trainings. Several of you have attended, so we're going to try not to be too repetitive, especially if you were in the last meeting where we did cover GPS a little bit. So I can see Greg's screen now. Do you want to go to the next slide? So GPS is pretty easy to find. If you go into log in there, you will see, if you drop down the little menu, you'll see GPS there. So you would just log in using the same username and password you would for your email. You can also find it in Canvas. It'll be on the left-hand side of the menu. Let's go on to the next. So if you haven't used GPS before, there are three main items that as faculty members you can raise for students. The first one, shown by the green star there, is what's called a kudos. It's a great way to give students some positive feedback positive reinforcement to keep them motivated, to keep them encouraged, and to let them know that they're doing well. One of the cool things I will say about GPS, or that I think is a cool thing, I'm definitely biased here, but we try to accommodate, and we definitely are very receptive to feedback and suggestions. And one of the early suggestions we got was specifically about the kudos, where a faculty member said, these kudos are really geared towards students with like 4.0s, straight A students. What do I do with these students who are getting C's, but they're working really hard and this just happens to not be a strong subject for them, but they're doing their best? How do I give them that encouragement? So we created kudos specifically for students who we know are doing their best, because we want to be able to motivate everybody. Then we have flags, which initiate conversations between the student and instructor. So this stays between the two of you. And flags can be raised for things like such as an attendance concern, missing your late assignments, just to show students that, hey, there's something going on here, let's talk about it. And it initiates that conversation. Now, the referrals, it's the purple one at the very bottom. This is the one that's kind of like an escalation of the flags, because yes, it does initiate a conversation, but it also requires third-party intervention. So what I mean by that is if you raise a referral, let's say for academic counseling or for financial aid, that means that service that you raised the referral for is proactively going to reach out to the students to respond to the referral that you raised and link them with support or other resources to address whatever the issue may be. So that's the bulk of how we use GPS right now. Let's go ahead. And then, and there's a question in the chat I just want to address really quickly. If a student is given kudos by one instructor, can their other teachers or support teams see it? So counselors are able to see it. My understanding is that if an instructor raises a kudo, only the instructor and the student can see it. So other instructors won't have access to any items raised by someone else. All right, so these are just some quick updates. We have some newer flags and a newer referral that were created. So the basic needs flag is one that just gives students like an automated informational email about how to access basic needs support. So things like food insecurity, housing, financial insecurities, they'll get that informational email. We also have the wellness support flag, which if students are experiencing psychological difficulties or need mental health support, again, they'll get an informational email that shows them how to access that. Now, please be aware that this does not replace the care and prevention team report. So if a student is at the level of crisis and you want a more hands-on approach, really you should be raising the care and prevention team report, because the wellness support flag is really just informational in nature. And then the last one is a Chromebook loan referral. So if students are having trouble with technology or they don't have access to a laptop or computer, you can raise the Chromebook loan referral and the team will reach out and make sure the students get connected. Coming up, we will have a new referral for modern languages tutoring. So we're really excited to get that on board, but that is coming. So those are the latest updates.
And Lori, can I jump in with respect to the Chromebook loan? I know during the heart of COVID, it was just great to be able to see students get help instantaneously. The people over at the bookstore, within a day, we would get an email, the student would get an email and they would let them know that they can pick their Chromebooks up the next day. So oftentimes we can see that when students are having trouble with their technology online and in that environment.
Wonderful. Well, you still have 17 seconds. You want to say anything else?
The appointment system, we can actually have people come to you. The appointment system is great because it really will integrate into your Outlook. And so the students will actually, ask for an appointment. You can accept it and you can set it up. We actually have leads that will help you with that as well. And here are all the people. Lori and I are the leads. We've got our general ambassadors. We come to departments and we go from there. So please let us know if there's anything we can do to help you with GPS. We're here for you.
And you guys are having another session, right? An even deeper dive.
Yes, from 2 to 3, it can be as hands-on as you need it to be. We've had these hands-on events. If you haven't been able to make it to that, come with your questions. Come and open your computer up and we'll be happy to help.
That's great. Wonderful.
Thank you so much.
I think Loretta has a question or comment. Yes.
Sure.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I was just wondering, because I'm the coordinator at the tutoring center, and we unfortunately stopped using GPS for a number of reasons. I mean, we still have information that hopefully directs students to WC Online, but we had to because we have student tutors and there were FERPA concerns. But then I also heard something in the English department and elsewhere that there was something called mProfessor that was flagging students. And I guess I'm just wondering if you're aware if people are still using mProfessor. If so, is that like a whole different system? And I'm wondering if that might be a bit confusing for students. And the other thing is there any plans with the updates with Coursera, if you know, if they're going to be able to integrate GPS in there? Because that was one of the big issues we had with GPS, was that students know about Coursera and there's that button that says tutoring appointments. And so they could find that very easily, and they had a much more difficult time finding GPS and booking appointments at the appropriate center.
Laura, you want to tackle that one? Because I know you've been working a little bit with that.
Yeah, I'm actually not too familiar with mProfessor, so I wouldn't know the answer to that one. I know Stacy's in here. She might have more information than I would. And with Coursera, yeah, I haven't heard any updates either. So. mProfessor does not allow us to gather the data GPS lets us gather.
And in the interest of time, because I know Kirsten has us on a very strict time period, we'd be happy to answer questions either afterward or at 2 o'clock. So I apologize for cutting it short. We just want to be respectful of the time.
Yeah, please email us. I'm going to put the email in the chat.
Yeah,
so any
please,
questions
we'd
we'll be happy to answer.
Thank you.
Thank you. And Susan, did you have a quick question, or do you?
I just wanted to make a comment that I know mProfessor is directly connected to WebISIS. And so we use it actively for the COVID-19 exemption testing program. And you might have heard me say that in meetings before. So if students are missing tests, it's linked to their name in mProfessor. So I just wanted to throw that out there, that there might be that connection.
But I think you bring up a good point. We need to pull all of these resources that are in different silos together, especially for the students if we want them to use it. So I know Esau Tovar is really aware of that and trying to get everything the students should have access to in front of them with Coursera Connect when we do that overhaul.
Yeah. I find that that's a huge problem, that everything, it's very hard to find stuff, and
Canvas is separate from Coursera Connect, the web. And
yeah, I mean, it's definitely impacted our traffic and our ability to connect with students significantly.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you for keep beating that drum, right? Because we don't know, we kind of forget. So keep bringing it up, Loretta. Thank you. All right, excellent. We're going to transition to our last speaker, Gustavo, who's going to be talking about Bank Mobile and iPark. Thank you.
Hey, good afternoon. My name is Gustavo. I am the supervisor in the cashier's office. I'm just basically going to just give you a quick update on what we are doing with Bank Mobile, which also includes our ID cards, our new ID cards for the students. And then we're just going to do a quick review of parking. It'll just be the iPark system on how to log in, if you want to update something with your vehicle, your license plate, your permit, anything like that. So it's just going to be nice and quick. And Kirsten, if I could share my screen.
Yeah, we tried to make it so you could. Lena's your co-host.
Let's see if it allows me. All right.
Yay.
Everybody see the screen? It says tuition refunds and financial aid disbursements for Bank Mobile. So basically, Bank Mobile is going to be the new merchant services for SMC. It's how we are going to be able to give the students any type of financial aid, refunds, basically any money owed to the students. We're going to be able to distribute it to them via Bank Mobile. So I'm going to go somewhat quick around this presentation because there's a lot of things that you probably don't really care much about. The benefits are going to be students receive the funds faster than mail. So the students are going to have the option of saying, I want the money directly into my bank account. So this way there's no worrying about, the postal service losing your check or why it got returned to SMC. The great thing is students are also able to track this online, and so are we. So the moment the student enrolls with Bank Mobile, they can see when their financial aid or their refund has already gone out. They'll get a message when it's going out, they'll get a message when it's been deposited, and they can actually see it versus just hear it, from us over the phone or via email. There are 2 phases to this. We've already gone through phase 1, which is distributing funds electronically. We've done it a few times and, a few hiccups, but so far so good. And we are starting on phase 2 right now, which is offering the SMC ID card, which it'll be a new ID card for the students. It was held back a little bit because this ID card is going to have a microchip. So due to the shortage in the US right now, we should hopefully have this already going in the next month. The ID cards are also going to double as a MasterCard debit card, but this is only going to be an option for the students who open a bank account with BankMobile. So I'll get into that in just one moment. This is just the background process. We actually started this process back in 2018. So it took about a year or so for everything to go through, and then the pandemic hit, and now we're back doing it. This is basically the way BankMobile works. Initially, we send a file with all the students that we have current for SMC to BankMobile so they can be uploaded into their system. BankMobile then sends kits to students either via mail or email. And the kits basically the kids give them just instructions, let them know how to sign in, how to enroll, and how to make their choices. Now, these are the 3 choices the students are going to be able to see. Now, I'll start from here, which is the most common one, the existing bank account. As long as a student has a US bank account with their name on it, it can have other people's names, but their name must be on it. They can choose direct deposit into their account. Once BankMobile gets the funds, 1 to 2 business days, the money gets deposited in there. For those that do not want a direct deposit and just want the regular paper check, that will be an option as well. The checks are mailed by BankMobile, and they do take about 5 to 7 business days to get to the students. The last option, which you might hear some students are a little confused, is opening a BankMobile Vibe account. Now, this is not mandatory for anybody. This is just an offer that BankMobile offers to students. If they don't have a bank account and they don't have a paper check, they don't want to do the paper check option. The great part about this is that the debit card, which is also the ID card, will work with the money deposited into this account. So it's just a regular account the students can use as their personal account, as it would be Wells Fargo, Chase, Bank of America. But even the better thing about this is the students get the money the exact same day that BankMobile starts to distribute it. So they don't have to wait 1 to 2 business days or 5 to 7 business days for this. So basically the way it works, SMC sends the list of students and how much money they're getting for whatever it may be, financial aid or refunds. SMC then wires the money directly to BankMobile. Once BankMobile gets the money, they start distributing it based on one of these 3 preferences that the student chose. Any questions the student has about where's my money, or I can't figure out how to do anything on the site, BankMobile handles everything. Cashier's office, admissions and records, and financial aid also assist in this. But for the most part, BankMobile does take care of pretty much everything for us. This is what's going to be the new student ID card. The design was by Jonathan Ng. The picture is going to be printed on the upper right corner. If the student does not have a picture on file, which is something we're working on, last I checked, we're just going to put a big X. We thought about putting some sort of SMC design, but we thought maybe students might like it and not want to put their picture on it. So we figured we would just take it off. The cards are going to be distributed by BankMobile. So this is also going to be handled by BankMobile and no longer will be handled by the cashier's office. We will still be handling employee ID cards and any type of badges, but student ID cards for the time being are going to be strictly through BankMobile. The process of adding the photo, we're going to use a company called CloudCard. Basically what CloudCard is there's going to be a link. The student clicks on the link and it's going to ask them to submit a photo and a government issued ID. At this time, they don't have facial recognition, so they can't actually compare it for us. So the cashier's office is going to be in charge of going on there, looking at the picture, verifying that the ID matches, and either approving it or rejecting it for the student to re-upload something else. Once we approve it, SMC uploads the picture to BankMobile. BankMobile prints the card out, sends it directly to the student on the address provided. And again, the debit card option will be an option, but only those that open the BankMobile Vive bank account. A few exceptions. We do not have the option of doing wires through BankMobile. So any international students that are no longer in the US and would like their funds sent to their address or to their bank in their own country, what they will need to do if they don't have a bank account with the US is they're just going to pick the paper check option, put the SMC address, which is 1900 Pico. That gets sent to the cashier's office, and the cashier's office contacts a student along with auxiliary services, and we get their wire information. The wire is sent to the student within a week. Another exception for students receiving any type of financial aid or tuition refund is any student that owes money. These funds come directly to the cashier's office, and the cashier's office uses any kind of financial aid disbursement to pay the fees owed first, and then distributes the remainder of the money to the student. Same thing happens with any kind of departmental holds. So if we get a check for a student, but they have a hold for admissions because something is missing, we hold the check, we contact the students that they have an admissions hold. The student takes care of that hold with admissions, lets us know, and then we release the check for them. So we kind of leave that up to the student to figure out exactly why they have a hold and fix it with whatever is required. We did build a web page for this, but we had a little hiccup with BankMobile that they realized that there was some information they did not want us to have on there. So it is kind of a work in progress at the moment. But it is, once it's completed, it is going to have how to get started instructions, disbursement preferences, basically everything I just went through, and all the instructions that are given by BankMobile in the emails. It's all also going to be included in our webpage. Implementation deadline, we pretty much passed the first 3 deadlines right here. We've done a big financial aid distribution. We've done CARES checks. We're about to do refunds. So right now it is spring 2022, and we expect to start sending out ID cards, like I said, hopefully in the next, month or so. And in the end, this is the implementation team. So this is everybody from each department that has sat with us through all the different meetings and back and forth emails. So thank you to everybody on here, but also a special thank you to everybody in all of these offices. The names you don't see is all the other employees that are learning this along with us, and we keep having to tell them to do things one way one day, and then we realize it's a different way the next day. So thank you again to everybody on that list as well. That is it for the BankMobile. I'm not sure if you want me to do.
I think there were a lot of questions in chat.
I'm sure. So I don't know if you want me to do anything with parking or just hold off on that for now and do the BankMobile part.
How long does parking take? Do you want to?
Parking maybe 2 or 3 minutes. It's kind of a walkthrough. I was just going to show everybody a quick walkthrough, but I can go through this. And
well, why don't we go ahead and do parking, and then folks who want to stay and hear all the answers to the deeper dive on the BankMobile can stay.
Okay. And then any questions with BankMobile, anybody can also email the cashier's office. So cashier@smc.edu. And then we'll share this screen. So I'm sure many people haven't seen anything with parking for a little bit if you're just starting to come back to campus. This is what your screen is going to look like when you're trying to get into your parking permit or your new parking permit. What's going to happen is you will click on sign in. It's going to take you to our SMC sign on page. So this will be just your regular sign on credentials that you use for SMC. When you click on that, you're going to find your name on the upper right. That means you're logged in. So if you do not have a permit, you will click on buy permits, and our system will give you the options that you have. So everybody's options are tailored depending on what classification you are with the school, whether you're student, employee. So basically we tailor everything, and you'll see whatever you have on here. So you just add whichever your preference is. Now, 2 of the biggest questions that we get is, I have a permit, but I need to add another car, or I got a new car. How can I do that? So what you're going to do, you click on account, and you're going to basically just focus on these two options right here, view permits and manage vehicles. Manage vehicles, you want to think of it as your garage at your house. So when you click on manage vehicles, you're going to have every vehicle basically that you own that you might want to have in your permit. So I have two different cars. I have my nice little Shelby Cobra and my Altima. So these are the cars in my garage. At this moment, I want to look at my permit, and I do have a permit on here, but only one vehicle. So what I do is I click on the license plate, I go to my garage, and I say, I might want to drive my Shelby Cobra to work. I click on that, I add the vehicle, and I'm done. So now when you refresh your page and you look at your permits, you're going to see you now have two vehicles. That is the easiest way for you to add a vehicle. If you need a rental car one day, you can put the rental car on there, switch your car as often as you want. Employees can have up to 3 cars on their permit, as long as you don't park 2 of them at the same time. Now, the last question would be, I have a brand new license plate. It was a temporary license plate. Now I got a new vanity one. What do? You simply click on the vehicle that you want to update. You highlight the plate. Let's change it to fast for you. We click save. Your car's been updated there. And then when you click on the view permits, your vehicle is already updated there. So that's basically it. That's the two most popular questions, I guess, that we receive at the cashier's office when it comes to parking. But any questions that anybody might have, just send us an email to parking@smc.edu, and we try to get back to everybody within 1 business day. And that is it on parking.
Thank you so much. So there's one from Gina right here. Has the procedure for requesting a 1-day guest parking pass at SMC changed at all? Or what do we do for guest parking?
So for guest parking, one way to simplify it is we found at least one admin in each department, which we gave them access to our administrative system for parking. So any department that wants to have a guest for a day or a few days, the admin will reach out to the person coming and literally just take their information down. So their vehicle information. So it'll be your vehicle's license plate, whether it's California plates or plates from somewhere else, and then just a brief detail of the vehicle, make, model, color, and year. The admin is able to put that in. They create the permit is active right away. And then the individual or the guest gets an email with the confirmation.
Great, thank you. So we had wanted to make sure folks have a break between this session and the 2 o'clock one. So I wanted to wrap up in the next 3 to 5 minutes. So I know there were a lot of really detailed questions in the chat. If folks didn't get the answer and want to mute and ask it now, that'd be great. Or if we have questions for any of the other wonderful presenters today, now is the time to do that. And I will just open it up for that Q&A piece now. How do students withdraw cash if the account is open with BankMobile? Is it just the ATM type dealie?
So yeah, they can actually use, so BankMobile uses a system where it's actually, they're allowed to take money out from almost any other ATM. It won't charge them fees. But one thing we are also working on is getting a BankMobile ATM installed in the cafeteria at some point. So that is hopefully pretty soon down the line. But yeah, they'd be able to use it at any ATM, or even if they want to just make a purchase or use it for buying anything online. It's just another regular debit card, except it's from an online bank versus an actual branch.
Awesome. Are there fees for, oh, sorry, go ahead, a real question. Yes.
No, Brenda, I was going to help out. I'm sorry, Kirsten, I was going to help out Brenda because she said she can't speak right now. So is there any procedure for requiring students to upload photos? Library will have a hard time using them to verify ID for checkout with no photo.
So I'm sorry, say that one more time. Any issues with uploading photos?
No, are there any procedures for requiring students to upload photos?
So the
library.
librarians would benefit from being able to have a photo on the ID.
I mean, we don't have a procedure yet for it. It is something that we're still working on, since we haven't had the chips on the cards yet for the cards. We still have to get in contact with Cloud Card and draw up an actual process for them. So it's in the works, but there's nothing final yet.
But Gustavo, it doesn't sound like it's ever going to be 100% required though, right? So that would be.
Oh, okay. You're talking about requirement.
Mhm.
So, I mean, ID cards aren't required by SMC technically. We would like to get most students' pictures on file, and it's also a security thing versus just an ID card thing.
Mhm.
You know, we want to make sure we're able to recognize a student, have their picture on file. If they have a question, it also helps to verify students. So a lot of times a student will have a question for us where they forgot to bring an ID and we don't know who they are, but we are able to verify them with, you know, with asking some personal information. And then if we have their picture right in front of us, it also, you know, helps a lot. So will it be mandatory? That I know of, not at this point, but it is something that we are trying to implement, and we would like for eventually all students to have a picture on file.
Mhm. Sounds like the library is in alignment with you wanting that. So
Yeah.
excellent. Do we have any final questions? Okay, we appreciate everybody's time and attention today. Thank you so much to our presenters. If you haven't yet filled out the application, or not the application, but the evaluation, please be sure you do that. We're going to be sending out an email that has that link also. But enjoy the rest of your day. You've got a little bit of a break between the 2 o'clock session. So go stretch your legs. Go get off the screen for a minute.
Thanks, everyone.